Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the TV6 Digital Desk live stream. My name is Molly Birch, and I'll be taking you through a recap of today's headlines. This stream runs every night starting at 8 to 7 Central Time from Sunday to Thursday. Feel free to comment and ask any questions you have in the chat as you feel like it. I'll do my best to answer those questions as we go and after the stream as well. With all of that business out of the way, let's take a look at our first story for tonight. The Michigan State Police is investigating a potential road rage confrontation in Schoolcraft County. Troopers from the MSP Gladstone Post were called to the Seney area on M28 yesterday evening. The MSP news release did not describe the assault. The suspect vehicle is believed to be an orange Hyundai SUV. Anyone with information should contact the MSP Gladstone Post at 906-428-4412. That's 906-428-4412. And Michigan State Police troopers say they can now identify a list of stolen items reported over the last 2 years in Marquette County. The MSP Negaunee Post says troopers recovered the items from a string of large-scale thefts ranging from Ely, Tilden, Forsyth, Ishpeming Townships, as well as Ishpeming City, and involving law enforcement agencies from each. Some of the items include Milwaukee tools, gasoline generators, Dollar General merchandise racks, trail cameras, jet skis, trailers, a side-by-side Sterling-Worth antique shotgun, a 20-gauge over-under Baikal model shotgun, and many others. If you or anyone you know has had property stolen recently, reach out to the MSP Negaunee Post. And an effort is underway to get a $50 million state grant to open a copper mine in the western UP. The Highland Copper Company plans to build a mine in Gogebic County. The Copperwood mine would be in Wakefield and Ironwood Townships. The company met this morning to get approval from the Michigan Strategic Fund for a $50 million grant. Advocates for the new project view this as a prime opportunity for UP development. And members of the Michigan Strategic Fund Board shared their worries about a gap in funding for the $420 million project.
A financing of this size that's not yet put together is probably going to be extremely dilutive to you. And then meaning that there's another majority owner of this project who we don't know.
Once in full operation, the mine will employ 380 mining professionals paying wages in the range of $80,000 to $120,000.
The proposal for funding was tabled and moved to an expedited committee to further develop the proposal. It will then appear before the Michigan Strategic Board again for a vote. And Cleveland Cliffs reported its full year earning results for 2023 today. The steel producer and owner of the Tilden iron ore mine in Marquette County reports $22 billion in consolidated revenue compared to $23 billion in 2022. There was also a $1.3 billion decrease in the company's net debt in 2023, leading to $2.9 billion in net debt. The Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer tells us about the year.
We delivered record shipments, both in total and specifically to the automotive industry. We reduced costs by $80 per ton in 2023 and generated $1.9 billion in adjusted EBITDA.
For 2024, the company put out 3 expectations: to increase steel shipment volume to 16.5 net tons, to reduce steel unit cost by around $30 per net ton, and have capital expenditures of $675 to $725 million. Organizers of a food pantry in Escanaba want the public to know they're back open for business after a year-long closure. The Emergency Food Assistance Program closed last year when organizers say there wasn't a way to get supplies from Grand Rapids to Esky. Now, with Feeding America bringing the food every month, organizers say they've reopened and relocated.
We were at the fairgrounds every quarter, but now we are doing this emergency food program once every month.
The TFAP Pantry is now located at the Escanaba Senior Center. It's open every Tuesday from 1 to 3. You must be at 200% of the federal poverty level to qualify and can pick up food once a month. While the investigation into last week's deadly fire in downtown Escanaba continues, 24 artists are scrambling to salvage their art and find a new location. TV6's Escanaba Bureau reporter Barbara Bellinger toured the East Ludington Art Gallery to find out the extent of smoke damage and what comes next for the building owner and his tenants.
Smoke and water damage from last Wednesday's fire on Ludington has caused a building owner to close a business and a residence indefinitely.
This building is no longer usable to them at this point. We don't have any heat, we don't have any water. We have a crack in the wall that needs to be looked at before this building can be used again.
The East Ludington Art Gallery was on the first floor to the east of the building where the fire was reported. The building and the gallery were insured, but not the art itself, and 24 artists had their work displayed in the gallery at the time of the fire. Once Warple's insurance company completed their inspection, artists could come in, pick up their art, and assess whether it could be saved or not.
The tops of everything were just covered in the black, and I did wash some things, and the water was just very, very black.
Peltier had fabric art on display. She says she feels pretty lucky.
I did manage to get most of the dirt out of some of the, my quilts especially, because there's a lot of work into those.
Warple says he doesn't know when or if his building will be repaired, which means the gallery, its artists, and his upstairs tenant will be displaced for the foreseeable future.
Hopefully they come up with a new location and that they're able to have enough product to be able to sell. But it's going to be a tough start for a lot of them.
Warple is asking the public for help, not for him, but for his tenants.
We need to have the community realize that there's people here that need support. And the artists in the gallery need support.
Warple started a GoFundMe for his upstairs tenant, and a spaghetti fundraiser for the artist is scheduled Friday from 4 to 7 in the evening at the Boniface Arts Center. For more details, go to uppermichigansource.com or the TV6 and Fox UP mobile news app. Barbara Bellinger, TV6 News, Escanaba.
Escanaba Public Safety says the body found in the rubble has not yet been identified, and the cause of the fire is still under investigation. Captain Darren Smith says the process is taking longer than normal due to circumstances like the total building collapse. We will keep you updated as this story progresses. And developing now, the 2024 A Winter Experience begins this Saturday at the Nakamanon Trail Network. This year, the race will only host a snow biking race due to the increase of bikers and low number of racers registered in snowshoeing and backcountry skiing events. Despite the burst of warm weather, the A Winter Experience race director says the race will happen. He also says this race is important for the maintaining of the trail network.
One of the biggest things is this is a fundraiser. All the money that we raise this weekend, from our sponsors as well as from the registrations, for the racers, every penny goes right back to the trails.
Registration begins at 8 in the morning and the race starts at 9 in the morning. And if you're a student, alumni, or UP resident, you could make your mark in NMU history. NMU's is looking for submissions of an original alma mater music composition. The winner's piece will appear in a celebration in recognition of the university's 125th anniversary. First place will also get a $2,000 cash prize, with cash prizes for second and third place as well.
As a musician and a composer and a lyricist, I think the opportunity is that you get to show your creativity in your work. This is something that will last for generations.
If you're interested in submitting or want to learn more about the guidelines, go to uppermichigansource.com or the TV6 and Fox UP mobile news app. And finally tonight on the TV6 Digital Desk live stream, keeping those blue-spotted salamanders safe. The Lake Superior Watershed Partnership has secured a grant from the Michigan DNR Wildlife Habitat Grant Program for more than $27,000. The group plans to use that money to install salamander tunnels at Presque Isle Park. The tunnels could look something like what you see on your screen now. Every year, the salamanders love the cool, damp springtime weather to make their move from the island to their breeding ponds.
The city closes the road every year, and that's been really great and positive for the salamanders and other amphibians crossing. But with increased attention, we're seeing more and more foot traffic. So we're really hoping this project just assists with the mitigation efforts or prevention, really.
The Superior Watershed Partnership hopes to work on installing those tunnels this summer. And that's all the stories we have for you tonight. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night, where I'll be here in the same place at the same time. That's 8/7 Central Time, with a recap of tomorrow's headlines. Don't forget, you can find us streaming on Facebook or YouTube, whichever platform you'd prefer. And if you have a story idea you think we should report on, feel free to contact us at any time. These are a few easy ways to get a hold of both myself and others in the newsroom. And again, you can contact us at any time. We'd love to hear from you and what's happening in your community. Thank you all again for joining me live at the TV6 Digital Desk. Have a great rest of your night.